Hello and welcome to Nekojima Gaming. Today I'll be going over the Mabinogi tutorial system. So first it wants me to check quest information. Maybe I'll try talking to Lorna here. Move this out of the way. And this is just telling you how to check your quests. So if I tap the Q key, I can see my quest info here. So throughout this tutorial, Lorna's going to be teaching various different things, like how to check character information and quest information, which is pretty important. And the rewards for doing this tutorial are pretty good if you're a new player that hasn't ever played this game before. So it's important information to go over. So now we're going to learn how to see character information by pressing C, and that's going to open up all this. And we've passed that step. And now we're going to check the mini-map. So to check the map, we'll press the M key to open it up, and then the mini-map is right up here. And then there's, it's telling you to move the cursor to the NPC search, which is right here. And you can look up different NPCs. It will list all the ones in the area, which are Lorna, Pan, and Tin. And you can also look them up. Like, if I want to find Lorna in a certain area, I can type in her name. And then she'll show up here. And then it'll tell me she's right here, she's right in front of me. And then we'll learn about our inventory. So we opened inventory with the I key. And this quest is done. And now I get to talk to Pan, the sheep over here. And now we're going to learn about equipping items. So I'll open my inventory, and there's a wooden stick here, which can be used as a weapon. It does 2 to 8 damage. And it's a blunt weapon, so I gained the blunt mastery skill. And then I talk to Pan again, holding it. And now they want me to use a potion that they gave me in my inventory. This will recover 10 HP, so I'll use one of those. And then I'll talk to Lorna here. Yeah, and the way I consumed the potion just now is you hold down the control key and then you just click on it, or you can also right-click it like this and go down to use when you're not in conversation with a NPC or a character. So now we're gonna go to the next area and meet Tin. Lorna and Pan have kind of an amusing relationship. Alright, and I'll complete that. And now I'm in this area with Tin. So I'll check my quests, and it wants me to talk to Tin over here. And now it wants me to kill 5 raccoons. One more will do it. And I'll learn Combat Mastery, that'll give me 1 extra strength. And you can open up your skills menu here by pressing the Z key. Yeah, like Tin says, if you press the Z key, it'll open up your entire skills, and you can either view all of them, or you can view the skills that belong to different talents, like life skills, combat skills, magic skills, alchemy skills, fighter skills, music. Yeah, and I already learned Combat Mastery. I should have probably talked to Tin first before I clicked that, but oh well. Okay, so now it wants me to attack one of them and then defend myself, and then attack again. So this will show us how to use the defense skill, which is good for defending against normal attacks. And it's right here on my 1 key, so I'll use 1 to use it. Then the raccoon will attack, and then I'll attack him back. And now I'll talk to Tim again. And we're gonna use the smash skill. And against the normal attack, we'd use the defense skill, and that's correct. And then Tin will attack after he defends from one of my normal attacks. So if an enemy attacks you with a normal attack and you use defense, then you'll block it, and then you'll be able to attack the enemy again. Alright, and now we're going to use the smash skill, but I'm going to change where it goes, because I like it on one better. And it wants me to attack, attack, and then smash. And you can use spacebar to enter your combat stance and press spacebar again to exit combat. Yeah, so the warrior combat system really is kind of a game of rock, paper, scissors. You have to pay attention to what the enemy is doing and what skill to use at what time, so it can be a little tricky. Okay, and for this one we'll be using counterattack. But once again, they moved my skills everywhere I don't want them. Okay, so in this case, I'll attack, and then I'll wait, and use a counter. He's gonna use smash, and then I'm gonna counter that with my counter skill here. Oops, wrong thing. Okay, that's done. Now I'll go back and talk to Tin. And this Lorna horn is kind of annoying. It gives you advice, but it can be a little annoying after a while, so you can just take that off if you don't like it. And now it's going to teach us about windmill skill. So instead you can use windmill against it. Activate windmill when you're close to an enemy, and when they're in range, click on the ground. And you'll notice how the cursor looks different when you do that. Okay, at least windmill's on 4, which is where I usually have it. So first I'll do a normal attack, and then I'll use windmill. And windmill is a fairly useful skill when you're surrounded by a bunch of enemies. Like, I can give an example here. I just hit 4 of them at once. So if you level it up, it's actually pretty useful when there are a lot of enemies around you and you want to attack more than one of them at once. Alright, we've learned the defense, smash, counter attack, and windmill. And how about a quick quiz, see what we remember. So if Tin were to run at me with a normal attack, I would use defense. Now if Tin were to run at me with Smash, I'd want to use counterattack because Smash can actually break through your defense skill. And if Tin was using counterattack, I would want to use Windmill, because Windmill can get around the counterattack. And just about any kind of ranged weapon like Shuriken or the bow or dual guns can also get around counterattack. Anything long distance. And we're done with this part of the tutorial. What's my next quest? I'll complete that. Oh, and that's not relevant right now. Yeah, I'll talk to Tin again. Yeah, so if an enemy is knocked down on the ground and they haven't stood back up yet, you can use Assault Slash to jump and attack them. So I can show that off a little bit later. And that's the Mabinogi tutorial system. This is Turconale, the starting town of the game. And I need to deliver a letter to Chief Duncan, which is this old guy right here. And now Duncan will teach me about actions. Yeah, and right now we're in Ulad, the human continent, and then there's another continent called Idia, where the elves and giants are. So if we tap N, there's a continent warp option here. I usually like to keep this one on F1. Oh, and I can level up my combat mastery. So I'll take that up. Okay, so now it wants me to speak with Endelyn, and she's near the church in Chirconale. Because in Mabinogi, there's a lot more to do than just combat. And we'll be learning one of the life skills from Endelyn now. This is her right here in front of the church here. So she wants us to gather an egg, and when gathering eggs, you don't want to be holding anything in your hands. And we'll find a hen over here. I just click on that. There's a little egg icon when you hover your bare hands over the hen. And I guess we just reach right up there and grab an egg. That's actually an egg for the event, though. I don't need that. I need a normal one. You also don't want to fight while holding eggs, because if you enter combat and hit an enemy while you have eggs in your inventory, they're gonna break and be completely useless. So now I'll talk to her and give her the egg. Yeah, and she also mentioned part-time jobs, and you can do part-time jobs at certain points in game time. So this is the in-game clock here, and if you come see her at, according to her board here, part-timers wanted, recruiting at noon. So you can talk to her for work at around noon in Mabby time, and you can do that by starting a conversation with her and then asking about part-time jobs and clicking on this. And it's not just Endelyn, there are part-time jobs in pretty much every town. and there's some of them are at different times. You can do a part-time job here at the grocery store, and that one also starts at noon. And you do it the same way. You talk to the person in here, and then you ask about part-time jobs. And then the same goes for the general merchant over here, the general shop, part-timers. And this one starts at 7 a.m. in Mabby time. Okay, so here's another tutorial quest, and we can learn about rebirthing next, which is a pretty big deal in this game. Okay, so I want to use this magical stone here. And now we can learn about some of the talents. So this basically lets you try out any of the talents in the game, kind of get a feel for what they're like. And I'll just do free play mode for these ones. So I'll go over close combat first. And there are dummies I can practice on here. So this skill is Assault Slash. And one way I can use this is if I smash the dummy. Oh, he's not down yet. Let's try it on a training dummy, that's a fixed one. And then when he's down... Ah, this fox got in my way. So I'm gonna kill him real quick. Okay, I'll do it on this training dummy, so I'll use Smash. And then when he's down I can use Assault Slash, which is on 5 here. And then you can... You can hit the enemy when they're down on the ground like that. So close combat is kind of like a rock, paper, scissors system with smash, counter, defense, and windmill. So now I guess I'll try out magic. I probably need to quit this combat first. Now I can try out magic. I'll do a free play mode of this. I'm not much of a mage though. And for magic, there's all these different skills. Ice Bolt, Lightning Bolt, Fire Bolt, Ice Spear, Thunder, Fireball, and Snapcast. So the cool thing about... I'll show off Ice Bolt first. So, usually for some skills like this, you have to charge them, and that can take a couple seconds. And then, since I've charged Ice Bolt 5 times, I can fire out 5 ice shards at the enemy. But the nice thing about Snapcast is it'll let you instantly charge up a skill, a magic skill. So I'll push Snapcast, and I have until that blue bar disappears, and then I push Ice Bolt, and then it's instantly charged to 5. And then if I try Lightning Bolt, that one's on F2. And I don't have to charge it up all the way. So I'll charge up to 5 anyway. And then I can try Firebolt, that one's on F3. And these are the easy magic skills to learn. So this one's Ice Spear. This will freeze certain enemies. Like that, now he's in ice. But when you actually start doing magic talent or any of the other talents, you won't have all the skills like this right away. This is just to kind of try them out and give you an idea of what it's going to be like when you acquire a lot of these skills, to kind of encourage you to think about what you want to use. Like, Ice Spear and Thunder and Fireball are some spells that are a little tricky to get. And Thunder hits kind of like Lightning Bolt does, but then it has that other bolt that comes out of the sky there and hits him. And then I'll show off the last one right here, which is Fireball. That one's on F6. This one actually does need to be charged all the way to 5 before I can actually use it. And to show its range, I'll use it on this fixed dummy that's a little bit further away. Makes a nice explosion like that. So I'll end my magic training, and then I can move on to the next talent, which is archery. And I won't be very good at archery because I'm a human. I don't have those pointy ears like the elves do. Giants can't even do archery. Only humans and elves can, and elves are better at it than humans are. I'll show it off anyway. So here I can see how many arrows I have. I have 99 of them. And then when I attack an enemy, it shows me how many arrows I have here, and it shows me the probability I have of hitting the enemy. So if I stand further away, I still have a 100% chance of hitting him. I'm going to stand even further. You can fire faster, but you have a higher chance of missing. So I could try hitting him at around 70% and it'll probably still hit. And that's how basic attack works for archery. And that one was Magnum Shot. That one's on F2. So that red number up there, that's your probability of hitting the enemy. So you want to make sure that's pretty high. If you fire it when it's below 50%, then there's a chance it's gonna miss. F3 is support shot. And F4 is crash shot. And then the last one here is urgent shot, which is F5. And I can't do that skill right now. So I guess I'll just skip that one, and I'll turn to my bow. So the next thing I'll go over is alchemy. I'm not very good at alchemy either. So I'll show off some of the skills here. This is the water cannon one on F1. And then Wind Blast is on F2. And that'll push the enemy back. And then Sand Burst is on F3. And then Flamethrower is on F4. And that covers the alchemy talent. First I need to turn my cylinder to this guy. And now I'll be going over the martial arts talent, and this one is actually one of the ones I'm good at. So for this one you have a pair of knuckles on your hands here. And the martial arts one is sort of a comboing system. So for F1 I have the charging strike. Now once I push that, I have this much time to pick an option, and I have two different options. If I pick one, I do an uppercut like that. And then F2 is Focused Fist. This will also engage a combo. And now, F1 is still on cooldown, so I'll use F2. And then there's a third combo option there. And F4 I can do a backflip. That looked kinda weird. I'll try it again. And then Respite will allow you to regenerate your stats. And you can use that with F3. The only thing is, you don't want to use any magic skills at all until this Respite After Effect goes away, because if you do, it will take a lot of your health and stamina and stuff. So it's not really a good skill to use if you want to use a combination of martial arts skills and mage skills. And I'll eventually be making guides covering these talents a lot more, like martial arts, and going over the quest lines, and how you actually unlock all those skills outside of this later on in future videos. So now I'll do a free play of music, and music is one of the more interesting talents in the game. You can play music around in town just for fun, and try out all sorts of different songs. And in terms of combat, it's a support talent. So on F3 I have Battlefield Overture, which will help boost my party members' damage and critical, and Enduring Melody will increase like defense and protection for my party members, and Lullaby will put enemies nearby to sleep. Harvest Song will increase your success chances with a lot of life skills, and it can affect party members if you're in parties. And March Song will boost your movement speed and anyone else's movement speed that's in your party. And Vivis is for improving alchemy charging speed and magic charging speed. So if I use F3 here to play Battlefield Overture, you get that buff, and anyone else in your party will get that buff too when you play it, as long as they're close by. And then it does have some combat skills, like the Discord skill, which is on F1. So I can just normally attack some enemy with an instrument. But if I use Discord, you smash them and all those musical notes come out like that. So music is a lot of fun. It has a lot of other uses other than combat. So it's both kind of a life skill and a combat skill. Oh, I need to turn on my instrument first. So next I'll go over Puppet Mastery. And this is one of the more interesting ones, because I've never seen this done in any other MMO. There are two types of puppets, a marionette and... yeah, there are two marionettes. The Period marionette, which is on F1, which is this little one. And I have little puppet control bars here equipped. So F1 summons the puppet. And I have this skill, Rising Action. That looks kinda cool. About F5. And that one, my puppet pulls out a cleaver and a mallet. That one was Threshold Cutter. And then I'll try Inciting Incident next. That one's on F6. F7 is Crisis. F8 is Climatic Crash. And then if I want to use the Colossus Marionette, this one's a lot bigger. And then there are also skills that you can use when you don't have a puppet summoned. So there's Wire Pull and Puppet Snare. So I'll use Wire Pull first, which is on F9. And then I'll use Puppet Snare next. This one kind of temporarily restrains the enemy with strings. So Puppet Mastery is kind of unique because when you have the puppet summoned, you're controlling the puppet. You're not really controlling yourself. You just kind of go where the puppet goes, and it takes the lead. It's a pretty unique talent. And now I'll turn in my control bars. And this is Lance combat, so I'll try a free play mode of this. Elves are the only race that can't use a lance, so if you're an elf, you don't have this option. Only humans and giants can use lances. So Lance Mastery uses a lot of the basic close combat skills that was already covered, but there are a few unique lance skills too, so I'll try F6 first, which is Lance Charge. I need to be further away, I guess. So you just run at the enemy and do that. And then there's Lance Counter, which is on F7. I probably need to wait for the enemy to attack to use that one. And then the Gunslinger talent is next. So there are a couple of skills up here. There's Reload, so I'll put some ammo in my guns here. And they hold 48 rounds. So I'll use Flash Launcher first, that's on F3. I'll use Grapple Shot next on F4. I need to be further away. Bullet Slide is on F5. Shooting Rush is on F6. F7 is Bullet Storm. And this last skill here is pretty handy because you can use it even when you don't have any ammo left. And it's Way of the Gun, so this will last 15.5 seconds at its current rank. And Way of the Gun basically gives you infinite ammo for a short time until that green bar runs out, and you also fire a little bit faster while it's active. But once Way of the Gun ends, regardless of how much ammo you had before you used it in your guns, your ammo goes to 0. So that's one thing to keep in mind about it. So now I'll press F1 again and reload it. And now I have 48 more rounds. And then I'll go over the last one here, which is going to be Ninja. I don't usually do a lot of distant combat, but I like Ninja. Ninja is one of the few long-range combat talents I actually really enjoy. So I have Shuriken Charge on F2. I can hold down F2 and let my Shuriken charge up onto the enemy that I have locked on. And I can throw that at him. F3 is Kunai Storm. If I want to restrain the enemies, I can use F4, which is Shadow Bind. Temporarily restrains the enemies. On F5, there's Shadow Cloak. And this makes you invisible, which removes enemy aggro. And it also increases your movement speed significantly while it's active. F6 Explosive Kunai is more of like a trap, so it's good to like set this up in certain places to prevent enemies from getting at you. And if an enemy walks on this, those are gonna explode. Smokescreen reduces the enemy's defense by 8 and their protection by 4 for a short time. So I'll use that. And they have that little icon above their heads, so their defense and their protection against my other attacks has been weakened. And now I'll use F8, which is Sakura Abyss. This skill looks really pretty and it does a lot of damage. Everything in that circle gets hit. Ninja is a good talent to work on if you're doing like close combat with like swords or a lance. You probably still want to pursue something like Ninja anyway, because as you level the skills, it'll give you strength stats and HP bonuses as you level your ninja skills. And that's kind of important because those are stats that you're going to be using as a warrior in close combat with like a lance or a sword or a blunt weapon of some kind. So it can give you pretty useful stats for those skills as well. And it's also good to have a distant combat option. Like, I don't like distant combat that much. I'm not that good at most kinds of distant combat, but I still feel like it's a good thing to have some knowledge of it, and that's why I like Ninja. I actually enjoy doing Ninja the most out of all the distant combat options, and it's good that I like it because there are certain situations where close combat just isn't all that great, and it's a little bit better to keep some distance between your enemies. Alright, I'll turn in my Shuriken. And that covers all the talents they have to offer here. So basically this part of the tutorial just kind of teaches about like what talent options there are. It lets you preview some cool skills that you can earn. Oh, and there's one more I forgot to cover. This guy over here, the Chain Slash talent. I guess I'll do a free play mode of this real quick. So your chain slash skills need Dorcha to work, which is right down here. This is your Dorcha gauge. So if you use normal attacks, your Dorcha gauge will slowly fill up. And as you level your Dorcha mastery skill, you'll unlock these extra slots as well and get up to 15. But for now we're stuck at 10. So you can use Dorcha Snatch to get Dorcha a little bit faster because it gives you 20% extra. It's a little bit better than basic attacks. And on F2 we have Chain Impale that will consume one of these Dorcha on my gauge. And it does that. And Chain Slash Mastery is kind of... Chain Slash Talent is kind of like a whip, almost. And I'll use Anchor Rush. This basically lets me, anywhere it's green I can... If the circle over there turns red, I can't go that far, but if it turns green, I can pull myself over like that. F4 is Raging Spike. Does that. F5 is Spinning Slasher. I'll actually try that again. Let's see. And that time I got 2 enemies roped up in it. And then I can use Death Mark, which is on F6 here. And if I get an enemy with that, my Chain Slash skill will do more damage on him for a while. And I can use Chain Crush next on F7, which basically is what it says, you just crush them with your chain. And then on F8 there's Chain Sweep. And then there's Chain Burst here. And this will basically buff you a little. And now to get more Dorcha, I can use Dorcha Conversion, which consumes 75% of your HP and turns it into 3.2 Dorcha apparently, so I'll try that. And then my Dorcha went up, but my HP went significantly down. So if you're a new player, that might be a skill you might want to avoid. And that covers the Chain Slash talent, so I'll turn in this. Now, I've tried everything I want to. Learned a lot about talents from that. So now it's gonna go over rebirthing. And rebirthing is something players can do, new players can do every day after every real day after 24 hours. So I'll talk to now. So when you begin your rebirth, you're basically taken back to a screen that looks basically like the character creation screen, and you can change your age. But since I was 15, since I made my character when I was 15, that's as old as I can make them right now. I can only go younger. If I wanted 16 and 17 and those other ages, I would have to let my character age naturally. You can change genders here. I'm gonna leave my character a guy. I guess I'll make them 14. So rebirthing resets your level back to 1. So my current level is 5, and then it's gonna go back to 1. And then you can change your look while you're here, and you can pick your talent while you're here, and I'm gonna pick close combat, because I think it's an important one to work on first. And the purpose of rebirthing is every time you level, you get AP. And you also get it for doing some quests and things like that. And AP are ability points, what you use to level your skills. So like, egg gathering, I need to learn how to do that. I need 1 AP to learn how to do that, and I have 63 right now. So now that I've leveled that skill using 1 AP, I have 62 left. And you get AP by leveling up. And the max level cap is 200, so you can get up to level 200 before rebirthing, but most probably rebirth a lot sooner than that. And you want to rebirth a lot to reset your level, and also because when you rebirth, you can also pick a new talent to work on. And now I need to speak to Duncan after the rebirth. And I got a sword for picking my warrior talent. I'm a novice warrior now. That's my talent title. And that covers basically the tutorial system when you first get into Mabinogi, going over all the basics and then learning about the talents in the rebirth system. Mabinogi is a pretty old game, but I think it's worth giving a try and getting into. It can be a lot of fun. There are a lot of social aspects to it as well. And there's a lot of stuff to do. I haven't even managed to accomplish everything on my main character. and I'll make other videos covering more of the things and features in Mabinogi. I'm gonna go over a lot of the talents in other videos, and like the quest line for learning like all the martial arts skills, for example, and the quest line for learning the ninja skills. So I'll be making videos on that at some point as well. So if you do decide to join Mabinogi, good luck to you and enjoy the game because it's really fun. Thanks for watching.